Hi everyone, my name is Sarah and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm bringing you my May Tarot TBR. April was a good reading month for me in that I read a fair amount, but a not so great reading month for me as in I have yet to finish 2 of my 4 prompts. But it's fine. I'm not really going to be that worried about it. I'm just going to carry on with my reading and just kind of doing what feels best for me. However, I am going to implement some sort of rules going forward. Not for the month of April because I'm just starting these rules, but I'm going to start from April moving forward. Any month that I do not complete my prompts, I will have to pull a punishment from a jar. The punishments are not that bad. Basically, the punishment for me is picking specific books to read. So I have like playing other people's TBR games because you tend to have to pick specific books for those, but any TBR game I play is gonna have to be like really easy for me to replicate and not super time consuming. There's gonna be like book buying bans, there's gonna be like having to read books over a certain amount of pages. I'm going to have to challenge myself to only read from one genre during the month, which might make finding like books to fit the prompts a little more difficult. And then I have a list of books that I'm just going to put in there as well. Those books are not necessarily chance books or like books that I'm not super interested in but I'm going to read anyways. They are likely, most of them sort of fall under the idea of these are books from book clubs that I follow. I just haven't had a chance to read yet or participate in for whatever reason that it was that month. So I thought I would start keeping track of those and putting them in this jar, and those could be some of my like punishment prompts. But that's the plan kind of going forward. I'm going to see how it goes. I am a little worried that now that I've implemented a type of punishment that I will just like stop reading entirely. But fingers crossed that that won't happen. So, first things first, let's pick that first card. Card number 1. The Son of Pentacles. The first card I picked was the Son of Pentacles. Pentacles is of course my thriller or contemporary genre, and so I'm going to be reading The Boy from the Woods by Harlan Coben. This is a book I got from the library. It is a thriller. I don't know much about it because I am trying not to go into any thrillers really knowing too much because I'm trying to figure out what I like in thrillers, and if I know too much about it, I feel like it's coloring my judgment too quickly. So this is still like relatively new. It's been out for like a year. I haven't really heard a lot about it, so I'm kind of excited to give it a try. Card number 2. The Fool. The next prompt I got was The Fool, and I'm not necessarily picking the next book based on the Fool word itself, but more about what the Fool card can represent, and it kind of can represent new beginnings, a type of naivety, and so I thought I would try Every Heart a Doorway by Seanan McGuire. I read this book for the first time last year, and I remember liking parts of it, but I didn't love all of it. So I'm thinking about trying to read the entire series coming up, at least of the books that are out currently, to see how I feel about this series going forward. And to be honest, I don't fully remember a lot about this book, so I'm kind of going back in without knowing anything. Except all I know in what I remember is that it takes place at this school or home for children who have gone to like portal worlds and now are back in our reality and have to learn to like live with that somehow. I remember reading it and liking the place where our main character was at and wishing I could read about that place more than what was going on at the school. But I don't really remember what was going on at the school. So I'm kind of excited to go back and see how it feels, and we'll see. We'll also see how much of those series I actually read. It's really going to depend on how I enjoy them. If I stop enjoying them, then I'm going to stop reading. And card number 3, oops, the 8 of Cups. And then the final card is the 8 of Cups, which cups are my romance suit. And so since I'm trying to participate in the Historical Hellions historical romance classics-ish book club, I'm going to be reading the May book club for that pick, which is Then Came You by Lisa Kleypas. I do not have the physical copy yet. I did order it, so it should be coming in hopefully soon-ish, because I would like to get started on that, because I'm in a romantic mood, so I would like to read that one first. I still have a couple of days before May officially starts, so we'll see. I have obviously a couple of books to finish yet. Fingers crossed. And then the last thing I usually do is pick a classics from my classics TBR jar. However, I picked the Count of Monte Cristo last year to read during the month of April, and I have yet to even start it. Now, when I picked it, I kind of had this idea that I would give myself like 2 months to read it, and I think I'm still gonna give myself 2 months to read it, but the 2 months are gonna start in May. I really do want to read this book, but I do know it is like massive. It is very, very big, and I don't want to sort of make it feel like it's the only book that I can read this month, because there are so many books I want to get through. Obviously, there's only a couple on this TBR, but there's quite a few other ones that I would like to get to. So I don't necessarily want to limit the amount of reading I can do, especially since there is a chance I might have to travel for work in June. So I'm going to just kind of take that as it is. I'm going to keep this as my classics TBR. I'm not going to pick another one just yet, and hopefully finish this by the end of June, and then go back to picking a classics from my TBR jar. If I don't finish it by the end of June, that's when I would then pick a potential punishment. But that's the plan. I really am enjoying these kind of smaller, sweeter TBRs, because I really feel like it's allowing me to explore more of the books and things I want to read at any given moment. Like, I am currently trying to finish up Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson, because there is a Cosmere Unbounded Brandon Sanderson read-along that I really want to participate in, and I'm obviously really enjoying Mistborn, so I'm hoping to kind of be able to catch up to where they're at soon-ish, maybe, fingers crossed. Because I really love the idea of readathons and read-alongs. I just have never really been able to stay caught up. And I'm also trying to start the Expanse series by James S.A. Corey. This is a sci-fi series that has been on my TBR for years. I think since this first book even came out. And I saw it at the library. Yeah, 2011. I remember seeing this at my library when I was in college and being like, oh, I really feel like I should read this, and then I just never did. 10 years later is totally fine. And I know that there is an Expanse along that's a readathon or read-along that's hosted by a couple of people as well. I will link both of these things down below for anyone else who might be interested. I am, however, behind, because that's just how I roll. I'm not totally sure if I'm going to be able to get caught up in either of those, but those are two things I am kind of working towards as I go on. I've been kind of filming my reading journey as I do the Mistborn, and kind of thinking of doing like a reading diary for that book. And I think I might do the same for the Expanse along, kind of read the book and the following novella to kind of put together in one reading diary. I feel like that could be fun, but I don't know. But that all being said, that's all I have for you this month. Let me know in the comments below what you're reading in the month of May, if we're reading any of the same books, if you have any recommendations, and just how your reading's doing in general. It's May, you know, the year is almost half over. What a crazy thought. How are you doing? How's your reading doing? Let me know in the comments below. But as always, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope that you have a fantastic day.